Hunchy 2, AtariAge 2005. This is the purported 2600 sequel to Century's Hunch Back from 1983, but it's so much better than that ineptly handling Jump Over the Holes arcade game that with a different title, it would have had no perceptible connection. As a splendid but possibly unwitting middle finger to the original, Chris Walton has devised an acutely accurate control scheme. You feel that you're unquestionably in command of the character, and considering that you've got him leaping around like a Super Mario, that he doesn't have the slightest back problem. As Quasimodo, the highest ambition with which you've been able to come up, apart from enlarging your collection of giant bells, is to rescue some broad named Esmeralda from what must be a very noisy cathedral. No wonder she wants to leave. Stealing all the bells from each room admits you into the next of 14. During a pleasantly low-pitched but inexplicable rendering of the teddy bear's picnic, you can walk forward at any time to grab the starting bell and embark upon your splinter-filled crusade. While climbing and jumping all over the first level, you'll notice that you cannot fall to your death, and that you're able to steer in mid-air, turning more than once if you choose. You're so unafflicted by scoliosis that you can carry a considerable amount of large heavy bells without sitting down for a break. What appears to be a bluebird continually flies across the room at random elevations, and two inhabit the second room. Their numbers vary from there. How such creatures could possibly hurt a big guy like Quasimodo was anybody's guess, but he'll drop dead if he touches a single feather. A plain old pellet gun would solve the problem right away. I guess that he had to make room on his person for all the bells. The things that look like knocked over sleds are actually guards, who are really into mathematics, as the plus symbols on their armor proudly signify. Two of these dorks occupy the third room, but they don't do anything so early on except stand there and be lethal. Given that you've had so much fun bouncing around, swiping bells, and indulging in the game's speed and fluidity, it comes as something of a surprise when the platform arrangements start to get tricky. On level 4, some close jumping challenges await the recovered back patient. The ability to safely plunge from any height becomes immaterial above the row of breaches in the bottommost platform, the floor, basically, beyond which lurks a mysterious, graphic-killing abyss. In light of all the bluebirds, I'd hate to think of what's accumulating down there. In point of fact, Hunchy 2 slowly transforms from a platform action game into a puzzle. This is where its brilliance truly lies, not to mention its nasty cunning. One finds himself pausing to figure out how to reach all the bells. On later levels, some have to be obtained last, lest the player trap himself between two of the wooden ledges, belatedly discovering that they're too high to hurdle. You know, all this place really needs is a match. The guard on the 6th level is the first who's not under the spell of inability to budge. He assumes that he can be lazy and dispose of you by repeatedly poking upward with a stick. Your defiance simply requires timing your jumps over him, as well as breaking his morale by stridently proclaiming, "You'll have to try harder than that, bird keeper." The ladders are uncommonly unrestrictive. You can hop onto or off of any rung you like. This may seem to be an obvious facility, but try telling that to some programmers. Walton was so smart about the pacing that the guards aren't even ambulatory until you've made it to level 7, having been familiarized with all the other obstacles. The new dork pursues you all over the room. The ledge arrangement has been temporarily returned to the straightforward type, in order to let you adapt to the added element of chase. Happily, the guard is better at arithmetic than spatial relationships, so the best strategy entails getting yourself above or below him, and then drawing him away from the ladders. He'll wander back and forth as he tracks your horizontal position. He's not smart enough to continue toward a ladder. It's also beneficial to lure him off the end of his current platform, provided that he's already prowling beneath you, of course. He can't jump in that confining armor. Like you, he can survive any fall, but at least he'll be farther away from you when he lands. Nobody can accuse Walton of having made the game too easy. I've gotten to level 10 thus far. That's okay though. What did Esmeralda ever do for me anyway? Let her take up bird watching. The levels flaunt substantial variety, and each contains the well-known "I'll do it this time" aspect. I always have fun playing Hunchy 2, but it's only one of the many impressive games that have been homemade for the undying 2600. There's a lot of greatness to come, too. I have a hunch. Okay, next, another homemade game, Oystron.